The CSIS war games repeatedly showed that in the opening hours of a conflict, swarms of these missiles could overwhelm a carrier strike group's defenses. The very symbols of American dominance could become its greatest vulnerabilities. This is the nightmare scenario whispered about in Washington. Not a long, drawn out battle, but a short, sharp shock. A war that could be over before America's full might can even be brought into the fight. But the most decisive factor might not be the weapons themselves, but the engine that builds them. A modern war is a war of industrial capacity. And in this arena, the gap between the US and China is nothing short of terrifying. The United States defense industry largely operates on a peacetime footing. It's slow, expensive, and optimized for producing small numbers of exquisite, high tech platforms. China's industrial base, by contrast, is operating on what many analysts consider a wartime footing right now. Consider shipbuilding. You might have seen the headline based on a leaked US Navy intelligence slide that China's shipbuilding capacity is a mind boggling 232 times greater than that of the United States. That number refers to total commercial tonnage. But even in a direct military comparison, the difference is stark. US naval intelligence has warned that China can replace losses and surge production at a rate America simply cannot match. One single Chinese shipyard has more capacity than all 7 US military shipyards combined. This isn't just about ships. China produces more steel, more electronics, and more raw materials than the United States. Its industries are vertically integrated, meaning it controls more of the supply chain from the mine to the missile. While the US relies on global partners for critical components, China can build what it needs when it needs it. This industrial mismatch is at the heart of the Pentagon's anxiety. It's why there's a growing consensus that in a prolonged war of attrition, the US would struggle to replace its losses. America is preparing for a marathon, but China is training for a sprint it believes it can win before America even gets out of the blocks. So, who would actually win? The answer seems to depend entirely on one question: how long does the war last? This brings us to two distinct scenarios with two very different outcomes. Scenario one: the short, sharp war. If a conflict over Taiwan is fast and brutal, lasting only days or weeks, the advantage overwhelmingly lies with China. Its geographical proximity, a 2/AD missile shield, and massive industrial base are all optimized for a rapid, decisive victory. Analyses from think tanks like CSIS consistently show that in such a scenario, China would likely sink enough US assets to force a withdrawal and achieve its objectives before America could fully mobilize. In a short war, China likely wins. Scenario two: the long, drawn out war. But if the United States and its allies, like Japan and Australia, can weather that initial storm and extend the conflict for months, the tables begin to turn. America's superior global logistics, its more experienced military, and its larger, more resilient economy would start to matter more. China's own supply lines would become vulnerable, and the economic toll of a prolonged war would be devastating for both sides. In an extended war of attrition, American advantages in technology and training would compound over time. Analysis from think tanks like the Brookings Institution suggests that if the conflict becomes a marathon, the US and its allies could ultimately prevail, but at a catastrophic cost. This is the central paradox. China has built a military designed to win quickly in its own neighborhood. America has built a military designed to win slowly on a global scale. The winner of the war would likely be whoever gets to fight the war they want. But this isn't a story that's already been written. The race for military dominance is constantly evolving, and the US is not standing still. In response to China's numerical advantage, the Pentagon has launched the Replicator Initiative. The goal is to counter China's mass with American technology by developing and deploying thousands of smaller, cheaper, autonomous systems like drone swarms. Instead of a few exquisite and vulnerable targets, the US would field a resilient and distributed network of intelligent weapons. The Pentagon is investing billions to make this a reality, signaling that this is the future of the US military. At the same time, the US is racing to develop effective defenses against hypersonic missiles, working on new interceptors and advanced tracking systems. A recent test of a common hypersonic missile shows progress is being made on the offensive side as well. If America can neutralize China's A2/AD threat, the balance of power could shift dramatically back in its favor. But for now, the reality is clear. The era of uncontested American military supremacy is over. China has strategically built a force capable of challenging the United States in its home region, creating a balance of power that is both tense and dangerously unstable. So, could America actually defeat China? The honest answer is it depends, and any victory would come at a cost that is difficult to fathom. A short war heavily favors China. A long war could favor the United States, but the losses would be staggering for all involved. Neither side can guarantee a win, and the risk of a nuclear escalation makes any such conflict profoundly dangerous. The truth is, the most important contest between the US and China isn't about who would win a war, but about who can be more effective at preventing one. This is a new era of strategic competition, a high stakes chess match where the goal isn't to checkmate your opponent, but to maintain a delicate and stable balance of power. But what do you think? Who will have the military advantage in 2035? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the forces shaping our world, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.